My friends, how are you? It is fantastic to see you for yet another video. And as we know here in America, we are in an absolute crisis at this point that probably Donald Trump will continue to escalate. Because we know that Donald Trump has declared war on America, basically. Anyone that does not agree with Donald Trump, anyone that does not fall in lockstep with Donald Trump has been deemed the enemy from within by Donald Trump himself, the President of the United States of America. We are watching as Donald Trump sends the National Guard from other states into Illinois, sending the Texas National Guard. And I didn't hear Pete Hegseth on this one. He didn't have too much to say, as last week or the week before, I'm losing track of time, my friends, Pete Hegseth was on stage in front of a bunch of the high-ranking military officials where he went on and on about how there's too many fat people in the military. And then you saw all these National Guardsmen coming in from Texas getting out of their truck, and those were some fat boys now, weren't they? And I know, we're not supposed to do any fat shaming and stuff like that, but when it comes to fascism, anybody that's acting on behalf of the fascist in charge, I'll shame them for anything that I can. And those were some fat motherfuckers coming up from Texas out there coming to enforce the law up there. But we're watching more and more as, unfortunately, America spirals out of control. Donald Trump and the Republicans are in a war with an imaginary opponent where they have decided that Antifa, my friends, is a terrorist organization. The problem with that is there's no such thing as Antifa. There's no such thing as an organization called Antifa. I know I'm preaching to the choir when I say this, but Antifa is an idea. It means anti-fascist for anybody that doesn't know. The brave people that fought in World War II, I'm not much of a historian, so I hope I don't fuck this one up. You guys know when I start talking about history and I don't take notes and I fucking fuck stuff up and then y'all call me out in the comments. Anyways, to save me the embarrassment, the brave people that fought in the world wars against fascism around the world, those were Antifa. The people that we celebrated that put an end to people like Hitler and Mussolini, those were Antifa. Those were the people that were out there fighting the good fight, right? And that is what Antifa still is. The people that stand up and fight against fascism. The people that will not let fascism steamroll them. Anyways, Donald Trump and the Republicans have gotten themselves in a war with an idea. Yeah, that's pretty shocking now, isn't it? We're watching as Donald Trump is manipulated by Fox News, who is playing old clips from 2020 from protests that happened out there, convincing Donald Trump that Portland is actually on fire right now. And Donald Trump is continuing to escalate that battle that he is having with Portland, my friends. I gotta be honest with you, this is all very exhausting trying to keep up with this. But basically what they're trying to do is the Republican Party knows that well, what am I trying to say? Their policies are wildly unpopular in America. The big, beautiful bill is a slap in the face to every working class American out there as it takes away our money, increases our healthcare cost in the interest of getting the billionaires in America bigger tax cuts so that they can have more money. It is an outright attack on the American people. That's what it really is. And because of that, the Republicans are reacting very poorly. They are obviously threatening blue states and blue cities with military action if we don't fall in line. They are working to gerrymander the upcoming midterm elections in multiple red states, starting with Texas. And I don't remember the other ones that went along with this bullshit, but they know that they cannot win this next election. So I don't know if we thought that gerrymandering was going to be the end of it. They were just going to try to gerrymander as many red states as they could and then hope for the best. But what we do know is that there are a lot of people, a lot of fucking people interested in Donald Trump and the Republicans maintaining control potentially forever, because there are a lot of younger people that are loyal to Donald Trump that in the event Democrats regain power in this country, they will will have their day in court for all the crimes they are committing against the American people. Donald Trump will probably get away with it because Donald Trump is an elderly man in very poor health, but people like J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth and Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem, and there's more. Those people are all committing crimes against the American people, and they know that if they ever lose power, there will be consequences for the things that they have done. I hope that America lives to see that day, my friends, where they face the consequences for their actions against the American people. But I, just like you, understand that Donald Trump and the Republicans are going to continue to escalate their attacks on the American people, because there is no way in hell they intend to lose these midterm elections and give up the power that they have right now. And we are watching that with Mike Johnson, who refuses to swear in an elected representative from the state of Arizona that just won her special election. Mike Johnson continues to make excuses for why he can't swear her in. We are watching a very, very desperate regime try to hold on to power, and they will escalate, my friends. I don't have good news for you. They will continue to escalate this. And the worst part of all of it is the millions and millions of Americans that are cheering this on, acting like this is a good thing, and going along with Donald Trump and attacking their very own working class brothers and sisters out here in America in the interest of a billionaire that does not give a fuck about them. Now, we are seeing a little bit of the tide starting to change a little bit with that, and we'll see where it all goes. As you're watching all these fucking idiots, these knucklehead podcasters like Joe Rogan, and I can't remember that other guy. He's a comedian. Theo Vaughn. Theo Vaughn is very upset that they're using his clips for their propaganda. And there's others out there that are saying outright that they regret getting into politics. They regret that they give Donald Trump a platform, and they are realizing that what they did was a very, very bad thing. And I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I think there's always room for redemption with people. There are times in my life that I've been a complete shithead, my friends, and there will probably be times in the future where I also slip up and do some bullshit I probably shouldn't have been fucking doing. But I believe that there is some redemption for people out there. I really, really believe there is. But it is frustrating when the rest of the Americans were saying this man's a fascist, he's going to take away the rights of the American people, and these assholes still platformed him and helped him to win the election. And I understand there's probably more at play, but I don't know enough about it. I also will concede that Donald Trump probably didn't win the election in any sort of ethical or moral way, because we know Donald Trump cheats at fucking everything. But these podcasters are starting to realize they made a huge fucking mistake. And we're going to see a very interesting shift, I think, happen here very soon, my friends, as millions of Americans that tune into their shows are suddenly going to be anti-Donald Trump, are going to be opposed to him. And it's unfortunate that we live in a fucking country where people are so adamant about being told what they think. They need a podcaster, a YouTuber, anybody to tell them what they actually think, and then they just go along with it. They don't want to put any thought into it whatsoever, which is the reason I started this channel. I wanted to try to reach out to a bunch of blue-collar rural Americans that may have my background, that may work in the same or similar profession as me, and say, hey, fucker, pay attention. There's a fascist takeover happening in America. Yes, you can influence people with your voice, my friends, and we're going to watch these millions of Americans suddenly change their tune and decide they don't like Donald Trump. We are seeing this rising tide of people going, what the fuck is going on here? The farmers in America are getting absolutely obliterated. The truckers that are paying attention to what's going on and not licking the fucking taint of Donald Trump are realizing that they are getting fucked. The warehouse workers, the dock workers, the retail workers, especially hospitality, is getting absolutely destroyed by everything Donald Trump is doing. And I know that was a long fucking setup to get to what the title of the video actually says. And we are going to talk about that, but it is important to know that they will escalate. They will continue to escalate. They will continue to fight with an imaginary force called Antifa, and they will do anything in their power to hold on to control. It's going to take every American out there to stand up in some way or another and say, we're not going to take this shit. We were promised a free country when we were born into this, and now however many years later, however many years old all of us are, we are watching that very thing be stolen from us right in front of our fucking eyes, and we're not too goddamn excited about it, my friends. We're not too happy. But the point of the video, what I'm actually trying to get to, is Donald Trump has come out and said that he has taken away freedom of speech. He said that in his own fucking words. You guys remember just a couple weeks ago, we were pissed, for the most part, anybody that's paying attention, anybody that likes having rights in America, that Jimmy Kimmel got canceled. And Jimmy Kimmel didn't get canceled because he said something and the network got upset with him and they canceled his show. Because if that were true, we would just have to accept that that were true. What actually fucking happened is Donald Trump has been at war with Jimmy Kimmel for a lot of years because Donald Trump is a thin-skinned man baby that cannot take any criticism whatsoever. And his FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, went on to the closeted homosexual Benny Johnson's, I think it's Benny Johnson. I'd never listened to him, but I know that he's an awful person. No, I've only listened to him a couple times is what I'm trying to say, and I don't know much about him, and I don't remember his fucking name. I think it's Benny Johnson. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr went on there and said that we can either do this the easy way or the hard way because he thinks he's in the mafia or some shit like that. And immediately after that, Jimmy Kimmel was canceled. That was clear government interference in freedom of speech, all right? And a lot of people came out and they said, oh yeah, I didn't see you up in arms when Obama did the same thing to Roseanne Barr. And my God, my friends, we all have a fucking magic internet box right in front of us where we can bother to look shit up. And I looked it up, okay? What actually happened is Roseanne Barr said a bunch of racist shit on the internet to where her network did freak the fuck out and said, my God, we're going to lose advertisers over this. We're going to lose revenue over this entire situation. And they said, you got to get the fuck out of here. That's what actually happened. There was no government interference whatsoever. And also, Obama wasn't even in office, my friends. He wasn't in office. So Roseanne says that Barack Obama called up her employer and got her fired, and that is the same as what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. Basically, the entire thing is the ramblings of an insane woman that does the exact same thing that all of MAGA does, refuses to accept the consequences of her actions. And we all came out and said with the Jimmy Kimmel thing, this is a clear violation of freedom of speech, where we were met with a lot of resistance from a bunch of dumb motherfuckers that live in America and said it was not, and they're allowed to do that and all that bullshit, and we stood our ground and we fucking got Jimmy back. That's what we did, my friends. We got Jimmy back. And while we were being accused of being hysterical and making shit up, we knew what we saw right there in front of us with our own fucking eyes. We knew that Donald Trump was launching an attack on freedom of speech in America. We now have proof, is the point that I'm getting to. So Donald Trump, I think it was just yesterday, came out and said straight to the camera, he has taken away freedom of speech. See, Donald Trump has got his diaper in a bunch over flag burning. Flag burning is a constitutionally protected freedom of speech that has been tried in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that that is a right, your freedom of speech in America, to burn a flag. So Donald Trump, being the fragile bitch that he is really upset that Americans are not loyal to him. And in protest to Donald Trump's fascist takeover of America, some Americans have resorted to flag burning to express their distaste for what Donald Trump is doing to America. And what any fascist regime would do is they would shut that shit down and impose legal consequences for doing the thing that they don't like. So Donald Trump came out and he signed an executive order that sentences people to 1 year in prison for flag burning. Yet another clear violation of Americans' freedom of speech. When Donald Trump was asked about that yesterday, he said that sometimes flag burning irritates other people, so I have removed that freedom of speech, or I have gotten rid of that freedom of speech, or something to that effect. And my friends, I am sick to death of people arguing with me and people arguing with you and expecting us not to believe what we saw with our very own fucking eyes. When we said it with Jimmy Kimmel, when we said it when he was sending military into blue cities, everybody told us we were hysterical, we were making the whole thing up, and now Donald Trump has just came out and said it. He said, I have taken away that freedom of speech. So where does this leave the people in America that are defending this fucking fascist Donald Trump, that are saying that we're making all of it up and it isn't actually happening? Donald Trump said it to the American people just yesterday that he has taken it away. And I hope, my friends, my God, I hope that a lot of people start paying more fucking attention to what is going on. Because when you start doing shit like this, it is a very slippery slope until we have lost all control of our country that we were promised was a free country when we were born into this bullshit. It will continue to escalate. It will go faster and faster until we do not have rights left at all. The people that are cheering on the people that are legal to be in America, that are being detained and pepper sprayed and fucking tear gassed and thrown in fucking concentration camps, not given any due process, you guys are fucking up. You are anti-American. You are not standing up for the rights of the people, and it is only a matter of time before you are fucking next. Everybody out here that is speaking up, even though a lot of these Americans are fucking dicks right now that are fucking celebrating what is going on, every one of us out here right now is standing up not only for our rights, not only for the rights of the people we are seeing being treated poorly in America right now, the people that are being deported with no due process to concentration camps, the people that are being vilified for doing absolutely nothing wrong at all. We are standing up for them. And we are also standing up for the rights of the American people that are cheering this shit on. We're the buffer for them. We're the fucking people running defense for them, because they are just too goddamn stupid to understand what it is they are asking for and what they are cheering for. But the point is, Donald Trump just said it himself, just out in the open, said, I have taken away that freedom of speech. So all the freedom of speech warriors out there, all the don't tread on me motherfuckers that were talking about how they would stand up to a fascist government, that right there was your calling card. That right there was all you needed to hear from the President of the United States, regardless of political party, that there is something fucking wrong in this country. And it is time for more people to start paying attention to what is going on, my friends, because he just came out and he said it. So I don't know how much more I got on this, but it is my hope that more and more Americans start to pay attention to what is going on, and eventually we try to drag this fucking country to the midterms, make the right goddamn decisions, and make sure that these fascists see their day in court one day for all the crimes they are committing against the American people. With that said, I have more work to do. I got to get out of here. Love you guys. Bye now.